Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Welcome, everybody, to the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. We're in a packed studio today. It's an away game, so you know what that means. Let's get fired up!
Let's go!
Come on, baby! Come on! I got my guy Booner joining me Woodward nights, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. weekdays. Of course, in the TD booth, Lukas Klotz, my guy, my right-hand man for the morning show. We're fired up. We got Easy in the chair, directly from the heavyweights, getting waxed. He was getting waxed. Oh, but now you can talk. You're good. All right. And then we got Michael Gentry in the audio booth holding it down. We stole him from Big D Energy. He's joining us today as well. Guys, packed show plan for today. Tons to discuss. Lions, again, on the road at Lambeau Field. The Green Bay Packers lead the series, though, 105-75. It's been some dark days in Detroit over the last couple decades. But you know what? That corner's being turned right now.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It is. And I'll tell you what. The Detroit Lions have won the last 3 previous matchups. And if you want to sprinkle on top of that, Booner, you brought this to me because it was first on the Pat McAfee show. First time the Detroit Lions are favored at Green Bay in 37 years.
It sounds 37 years does not sound. That doesn't sound real at all. You would think there would be at least one time, like in that Stafford,
right.
Just one time in a 40-year span that you would be favored to win a game at Lambeau.
It
just
happens.
once. And I know you get 3 points at home, but dang, man, like 37 years you haven't been favored at Lambeau when it's a quarterback one. Mm-hmm. And today's the day, baby.
It is the
Today's the day!
It is the day. Speaking of favored and odds and all that, we'll get to Booner's bets later in the show because I know he has something to share with us. I got some bets tonight on the game as well. Not confident, but this is why I have my guy Booner, Michael Gentry as well. If people don't know, we'll sleep on him. The man's winning some dough, too. He really is. I can't lie.
In the booth. Look at him. He's just hiding in the booth.
He's winning some dough, too.
I'm like, ooh, that dough.
He is. Shout out to people joining the show, too. Perks, what's up, guys? Welcome to the show. I see Hollywood by Dusty. Appreciate you, Dusty, for joining the show. Everyone's fired up. Fuck the Packers. A lot of FTPs in there. Spam FTPers, man. And spam FTP in the chat. I need a lot of those.
I keep seeing Hollywood in here. It is a pleasure to share the stage.
Always.
This is unreal. I know it's the second time so far this year, but every time I get to do this and sit up on this desk with the one and only Jeff Hollywood Iafrate, I take advantage of every moment. Everyone. I'm only going to have a few in my life before, you're a multi-millionaire.
He's the next JJ Redick, but he didn't have to play basketball. He's just so Hollywood. He'd be like, yeah, I know more ball than JJ.
I just don't want you. Just don't forget Booner.
What are you talking?
Don't forget Booner, man.
Yeah,
please.
no, of course. Wait, okay. Spenny said some out-of-pocket stuff before the stream, and no one knows what it is. Well, I'm not going to say it either.
You want me to say it?
No, do not say it. Do not say it.
Say it, Spenny.
Do not say it.
You know what I'm saying?
Do not say it.
Don't say it.
No, don't say it. Do not say it.
Lucky Jeff.
Do not say it. But again, we got the entire
Leave that to
crew.
the imagination. It's way more fun that way.
We got the entire crew joining us today. Again, we have the watch party afterwards. Everybody will be involved in that. You're going to want to stick around and tune into that. It's a lot of fun, man. And once you get mix some alcohol with all the personalities, and then you mix in money on the line, it's amazing. Jordan Schaefer says, "Does Jeff's chair smell like Spenny's farts?" I don't know, and I'm not gonna. I don't need to check that either. So,
Take a whiff.
Jason says, "Stop hating on Jeff." Denver says, "I see juicy Booner." And again, for everybody, I want to get into the injury report because that is probably where we should start. And I don't know if you found it yet, Boone,
I'm searching over
the
here.
official injury report that came out. I have the one that's currently on DetroitLions.com, and I'll just kind of go through it for everybody. Ruled out. I'll go through that first. Jason Cabinda, Sam Flannel wouldn't care for that. Matt Nelson is ruled out as well. And then, of course, Vaitai, who left the game early a couple weeks ago with that knee injury. He is ruled out. Now, questionable. We'll get to that because that's where it gets interesting. Taylor Decker with that ankle injury. He talked about early this week. He wants to play. That's what he wants to do. Of course, it's a divisional game. It is short week. You got 10 days off after this game. I think it's ideal you get Taylor Decker back. I expect him to play. Jonah Jackson, he's playing. Kirby Joseph, that one's interesting. Because again,
have to say he
he
play.
had light practices all week. So I don't know what that means. If they want to rest him, you got 10 days. You like Kirby there. He is one of the owners of Lambeau Field.
He is.
You keep going. David Montgomery, thigh. He's questionable. He's expected to play, though. It's already confirmed. Sorry, Tom Pelissero. It's already confirmed.
Packers are fucked because of that.
And then Emmanuel Mosley is questionable, but I think he's officially ruled out. I believe so. And then Frank Ragnow will be there as well. So, again, you get some key pieces back. And for the Packers, I want to go through who they may miss tonight because it is significant for the Lions. Jair Alexander did not practice Monday. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, light practice, game status, questionable. We'll see with Jair. I expect him to play, though. You expect a guy like that will be out there. David Bakhtiari, Campbell, and then Jenkins, all ruled out for
Bakhtiari
tonight's
put
game.
on IR.
And then Bakhtiari was just put on IR. So huge news for that Lions defensive line and Lions offense. And Lions defense.
I did see, Jeff, that Tom Pelissero said today that Jair Alexander's looking more so of out today.
Really? I figured it went the other way.
The most updated video I saw of him when he came back out and said that Montgomery and what's his names are in. And Decker's in and Mosley's out.
Make sure Mike's plugged in, Boone.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My bad, fellas.
You're leaning on it.
My bad. I'm locked in. But no, I saw Tom Pelissero came out, and in that video he said Jair Alexander's leaning towards out, and because he hasn't really practiced in short week, that he's a guy that really hasn't practiced. I could be wrong. I'm sitting here. I text Broder already to try and get an injury report for us because it's supposed to be 90 minutes before, so it should be right now.
Come on, Broder.
So I haven't got a response yet, and I've checked the Detroit Lions Twitter and nothing yet. But I'm hoping we get it, and it's a Jair Alexander out.
Even the fact that it's like that, he's not going to be able to play 100%. When you have Amon-Ra St. Brown, a guy who's just able to route you up, and not only that, but when in the blocking game, that's where Amon-Ra is so underrated. He's going to be able to beat down Jair Alexander even if he plays. So he's not going to be 100%. That's one of those things where you don't know if he's going to finish out there, especially like as the amount of times that they swing the tackles and the guards out there on like screen passes. Like Jair, if he plays, he's still going to be very vulnerable.
In this one, Detroit Steve, and I saw this as well. He says Packers signed a couple quarterbacks from their practice squad. Jair might be out. And again, I hope that's the case. I mean, Jair Alexander is one of the best corners in the NFL. So ideally, you want him out. Now, some other injuries, though, the updates for the Packers. Two guys, Aaron Jones, Christian Watson, who were questionable. They're expected to play. A little bit more help for the Packers. Again, you talk about, and we'll get to all the matchups later in the show because Aaron Jones is an interesting one, and I'll explain that later. But still, for all the updates regarding injuries, we'll wait on Broder on the official kind of update for that. But right now, some pretty key players out for the Packers. So again, it is what it is in the NFL. You know how it is. Everyone's either injured or hurt. That's how it works.
Yeah, I mean, every team, every week, like especially your week 5, we're going to have to go through that all season long.
Of course.
Especially the Packers going to, it's just a thing you have to do. I did see real quick, I have to throw out a comment here. Jeff Berg said, hey, Booner, your boy Pete Prisco picked the Packers to win. What a shock. What a loser Pete Prisco is. That man sucks.
Who's Pete
Clown.
Prisco?
Pete Prisco's a loser.
Loser. Definition.
I hate that man. He has his own segment on our shows on Tuesday, Pete Prisco Clown Section.
What? Who is that?
He's a CBS guy.
CBS, yeah.
Pete
He
Prisco.
had this week, he had the Detroit Lions at 10th in his power rankings, and he had the Green Bay Packers at number 7.
I don't know about that one.
It's brutal. And the week before that, he had the Detroit Lions at 18.
Yeah, and again,
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's
sucks.
terrible. You know how it is. Easy.
Yes, sir.
Some of your thoughts. Some guys, key players out. Who's significant, who's not. You can just go through that.
Who's going to actually be out for the Detroit Lions?
Kirby.
I guess,
possibly.
yeah. Kirby be one. Obviously, you guys know he co-owns the Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
But I'll be honest with you guys, I like what Iffy gave us last week. I know it's not the playmaking abilities that you usually see from Kirby Joseph, like making plays in the actual ball itself, but I think if Packers wide receiver, tight end, or whatever it may be within the vicinity of Kirby Joseph, Iffy Melifonwu, he's going to put him on the ground. I don't know if you guys caught it last week. He had one of the guys in the Falcons doing the Fortnite crawl. Just like look around for someone to say it was the health package or something like that.
Yeah. I like it.
If you look nice, you look nice.
Iffy, and I talked about this on the heavyweight, so you can check them out 5 to 7 weekdays.
Check it out.
I mentioned Iffy, and Iffy, man, like from last year to this year,
Yeah.
guy's getting better.
He's gotten opportunities, and he's taken care of those. Last week in the stream, me and Lucas were sitting there just screaming Iffy the whole time because it seemed like he was just him, Brian Brandt. They're just flying around the field making plays. And with C.J. Gardner-Johnson out, those guys out, like the injury situation, Kirby probably out today.
Right.
Those are guys you have to step up and make plays. Brian Branch has to do what he did last week. Iffy, he's going to be huge for this team, I feel like.
Yeah, no doubt about it. In Ryan's reaction, appreciate you, bro, for joining too, man. Seriously. He says so many new news heads are casual Packer fans and ignorant of Lions football. Yeah, and again, a lot of this are just lazy takes. Like, in my opinion, I think a lot of it's just based on history. Right, like, okay, I don't really know much about the Lions, but I'll just go with the Packers because they're the Packers. Like, no, if you actually do your research and you actually take the time to get to know these football teams, it doesn't take a genius to see. Maybe for Jordan Love's sake, you think, okay, pretty good football team. If Jordan Love is decent, they can win some games. But you know what Detroit's been building. Dude, they're the favorite in the division for a reason.
Even if you're going to go by, hey, they're 2-1, if you even look at the games that they've won or the game, like if you compare the games that the Packers and the Lions have won in these games they play, what they beat the Saints when they were down 17-0 and the quarterback gets hurt, and they beat one of the worst team in the league, the Chicago Bears. That's their 2 wins.
Right.
The Detroit Lions beat the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead. They lost to the Seahawks, who's a playoff team, and then they beat the Falcons, who beat the Packers.
Right. And Andrew Jones says Packers played Fields, Ritter, and half a car, who put up 17 before his injury.
It's embarrassing that people do that.
If you really think about it, like, I understand, like, you need to respect this Packers team, especially because they're NFC North Division rival. They're going to play you hard. But this team was a rookie kicker away from being 1-2, and their only win being over the Chicago Bears. So that's why this whole Jordan Love thing is just driven me wild, because, like, yeah, he's thrown 6-7 touchdowns, 1 interception, whatever the number is. He could easily have 3 interceptions for 1, and he has a 55% completion percentage. So when you have pressure in his face, which I expect the Detroit Lions and Aiden Hutchinson to do today, man, I'm telling you, I think the Packers are going to have a welcome to earth moment. I truly do.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I want to discuss too, and maybe we can squeeze that in towards the end of the show, but the whole Jordan Love thing, like, your thoughts on him over. I don't mean easier, a little more in lockstep with Jordan. It's not like we're sitting here scared of him, but at the same time, like...
respectful.
Yeah. Like, I think Lucas... You're a little more on the side of, like, the dude's
I'm just not scared of the guy. Like,
not saying you should be scared, but I think they have something in Jordan.
Let me put it like this. Jordan Love still has to earn my respect.
I'm
with Lucas.
That's fair. That's fair.
I understand he's had a solid start, but when you really look at the situations he's been in with the weapons around him, like, he has not truly been tested. He's been tested once, and it was in Atlanta when he was down in the fourth quarter, and then again last week. We'll test him there, so he's got a check and a check. But I still, like, there's not been a play where I've been like, you need to watch out for Jordan Love, because I understand he had that throw, I believe it was against the Falcons, to, I believe it was Romeo Doubs, but I could be wrong, where Matt LaFleur said there's only a handful of quarterbacks in the league that can make that. I can pull up a Baker Mayfield pass right now where you can say, there's only a handful. Like, you can say that about every quarterback. He's an NFL quarterback. He can make plays, but he still needs to show a lot to earn my respect. I'm sorry.
The thing that makes me nervous about him, is, I guess more particular to this matchup, is that, like, when you look at the Detroit Lions, the quarterbacks that beat us are the quarterbacks that make those, like, off-platform throws, those like scrambling the back and just throwing it up there. I mean, Geno Smith, for example, like, the Detroit Lions got pressure on him, but they weren't able to, like, actually take him down.
Yeah.
You saw him kind of float around back there outside that pocket and then make a play to, like, another receiver down the field. What the Packers have, like it or not, they have pass catchers, athletic ones that can make plays for you. Talking about, I go as much as going down to the rookie Jaden Reed that we see now too.
Yeah, like
and
him.
Jordan Love, he's a little bit mobile. And when I say the term mobile, I'm not talking about a scrambling quarterback. I'm talking about a quarterback that's able to drift away from the pocket and still find an open receiver down the field. And Jordan Love's showing those type of things. And with the Detroit Lions, it just feels like those type of guys that always get you.
I want to ask you a question, Easy, real quick.
Yep, go ahead.
Last week, who did you keep saying you were scared of for this Falcons team?
I wasn't scared of anybody. I just said that the Falcons were to beat us, it'd be Desmond Ridder.
It feels like it's the same situation this week with Jordan Love, to where, yeah, you can respect him, and you're going to look at it and you're going to say, hey, maybe we should respect him. But if you get pressure on him and if you disrupt him, he's still only in his first year starting as the NFL quarterback.
There's a lot of things he has not seen.
Exactly.
You know, maybe behind sitting behind Aaron, but not
it's just like Desmond Ridder. Like, he was in week 3 of starting in the NFL. Obviously, he started some games last year, but, like, full season where this is his team, he's in his first season. Jordan Love's in his first season. If you go out there and dominate him and throw things at him that he hasn't seen yet, and you get, like Lucas said, pressure on him. If anyone watched the Saints game last week, every time he just had a little bit of pressure. It wasn't knocking him down or anything. A guy could be a foot away from him about to hit him, and his legs crumbled, and he just threw the ball, and he wasn't accurate at all. And that's why they lost the first 3 quarters.
He has a 55% completion percentage for a reason. When a guy is not wide open, he has to make plays. He has struggled to do that consistently. Can he do that? Maybe, but on a consistent level, again, it has to be seen. It's week 3 of his first season starting, and there's really not been a battle-tested team like that. NFC South is solid, but there's not one elite team in that division.
I'll tell you what, Mickey Casper says, love you, Woodward Sports crew. Listen to you guys every day. Thank you. Shout out to you, Mickey. Appreciate you for joining the pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network, brought to you by our friends at Bullseye Event Group and our friends over at Long Drink. Delicious, by the way. I know Lucas was indulging in a lot of long drinks at the home game.
Was I ever?
Oh, yeah. Were you ever?
Let me tell you, those long drinks, they sneak up on you, man. You get one can, you're like, damn, this is good. You get like halfway through that second can, you're like, oh, okay.
So again, all appreciation goes to the people over there. But right now, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll get into more matchup-related discussions because there are some interesting things to kind of bring up here. We'll start with the Lions offense. But first, we're going to play some commercials. We'll see you guys right after the break. You're tuning in to the Woodward Sports Detroit Lions pregame show.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Welcome back to the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network, brought to you by our friends at Bullseye Event Group and our friends over at Long Drink. Again, the VIP tailgate, Lions VIP tailgate over at Eastern Market. If you haven't been down there, you're missing out big time. I mean, we were down there the first week of the NFL season for the Lions.
Yeah.
The second week, actually, the first home game. A lot of fun, man.
Eastern Market, unreal. That was my first time ever going. Unreal. There's people lined up everywhere. It's packed. There's all the buildings there there's all the different tailgates. And you just go walk around. People are just sitting there grilling, drinks everywhere. It's a great time. And the Bullseye event was unreal. And if you haven't been to if you want to go to this Bullseye event, you need to check it out at least once, man.
And I'll tell you what, I want to get into more matchup related questions here because we'll start with the Lions offense because, again, that offensive line is back to some extent. You still don't have Vitae, but you know what? It's okay. You got the rest of the guys coming back. Your elite unit is returning for the most part, with Taylor Decker now suiting back up at left tackle, moving Panay over to that right side. And you know what? Even without no Vitae, you got Graham Glasgow. This is why you signed him. And now he's going to fill in there at the right guard. I want to go through it. That Packers D-line, Rashawn Gary, over 3 sacks last week. Or they have 3 or 3.5, whatever it was. Completely wrecked last week for the Packers against the Saints. Had a great game. And then you go back to Kenny Clark, who's always been solid. Preston Smith, who they have. Lucas Van Ness.
Yeah.
Not that Lucas. Lucas Van Ness.
Lucas with the K, though.
The bigger, better looking, in more shape Lucas over there in Green Bay.
Are you kidding me?
And
Are you kidding me?
That's really mean of me to say.
Was any of it a lie?
And he's bigger. Lucas
All
Reeds.
right. I don't want to interrupt anything.
What's
I
wrong?
have
Talk to me.
breaking news.
All right, talk to me. What's wrong?
I'm pregnant.
Inactives for the Green Bay Packers, and Lucas, I just sent you over the Detroit inactives. Okay. So if you want to get that ready, Detroit or Green Bay Packers inactives. Wide receiver Malik Heath, nothing. Anthony Johnson, probably nothing. Yeah. Zane Anderson, safety. Brenton Cox, linebacker. Devondre Campbell.
Huge. That is huge.
Elton Jenkins out. Biggest one. Corner Jair Alexander inactive today versus the Detroit Lions. So that's
big time.
That's massive if you really think about it. So
especially if you have the St. Brown over.
Yeah, yes, I do have that.
Yeah, I may have that. But continue.
But no, that's and I mean, even St. Brown talked about it. Even if Jair was playing, that was a thing to where he was like, I've been up against him multiple times. I know. It sounded like on his podcast that he basically was like, I would rather play against elite corners because I can go out there and show up.
He was out there week 18 last year.
Yep.
Yeah, he was.
Detroit Lions, you want to throw that up, Lucas?
Yep, I got you.
Yeah, here's the quickly. We'll move on to matchups, but first we'll get into it now. Officially inactive, like I said, Kabinda, Kirby's the update. Running back Zonovan Smith, that's fine. I mean, you got Monty back.
Yep.
And then you got got Broderick Martin, who's just inactive again. It is what it is. Emmanuel Mosley officially ruled out. There was a little bit of tease there. He might play some series, but they're going to let him rest another 10 days. And then, of course, Vaitai, which isn't a surprise there. So I wouldn't say anything surprising. Kirby Joseph, it's not surprising, but it stinks.
Yeah, I figured that he was out.
That's a guy that you just want out there, especially now losing C.J. Gardner-Johnson for most likely the season. We'll see. He's not on IR, so I don't know. Maybe he comes back. But Kirby's the other guy in that secondary. I need a turnover. Here comes Kirby. And he's no longer there for this week.
Iffy, Brian Branch, Tracy Walker. Do what you did last week. Step up, get the job done. And that's all you can do if these guys are out, if your top two are out.
Now, I want to move on here. Now that that's out, now that's official. Again, let's get to some matchups. I just went through Packers D-line, Lions O-line. Now, we know what happens when this offensive line shows up, and they do that pretty often.
Yep.
You run the ball effectively. Packers have shown they're prone to that. Gave up, over 200 yards rushing against the Falcons. That is a previous week. It's 2 weeks ago, but still, even other games this season, they've shown they're prone to giving up a ton of rushing yards. If this offensive line, which I'm confident, we got most of them back, that's a benefit. You're going to be able to run the football. The other part of it is protecting Jared Goff. And you know what Jared Goff looks like in a clean pocket. Mm-hmm. Listen, he's sitting back there. He's sitting back there. You want Jared ideally to leave this game with a clean jersey. And I think so. This Packers defensive line has got dudes. But with Taylor Decker back, you do feel more confident.
I think that's the
better than Matt Nelson or Dan Skipper.
Yeah, or Colby.
Or Colby Silverstone.
I think that's the biggest takeaway from this matchup, this D-line and offensive line matchup, is one on top of it, you're getting your RB1 back in David Montgomery. Taylor Decker's back. Panay can go back to that side. D-Mac said it on BDE today. All last week in the stream, we were talking about why you're running it to that right side. What are you doing? Now they're able to go back to that because Panay is back. And David Montgomery, you're able to run through the tackles now. It changes everything, in my opinion. And then to your point, Jeff, Jared Goff, he's going to stay. You expect him to stay clean now with this group. I don't know about you guys. I trust Graham Glasgow, too.
I do, too.
I like Graham perfectly
Glasgow.
fine with Graham there.
Especially at right guard, guys. I mean, you got elite dudes all over you.
I don't see that as like
last year was a constant revolving door at the guard position, and we were never let down, no matter who was in there. The guard spot is good. Where I get a little bit nervous at the tackle position.
Yeah,
that's my spot.
And you were fair. You brought up Rashawn Gary. Like, you talk about who I'm fearful of. Like Rashawn Gary, dude. Like that man went healthy.
Imagine if we had Rashawn Gary.
Yes,
a Satrick, freedom win.
A Satrick. That's
imagine
if
Taylor Decker was down. We had Rashawn Gary like up against like Colby.
Dan Skipper.
Yeah, like
Dan Skipper.
Like that's again. It wouldn't be Jared's blind side. You'd have Panay, but still, like
that's brutal.
That's a matchup
they
that
would
the
go
Packers
at that matchup there
are going to want to take advantage of. What's funny?
What's going on?
What's going on?
He's Spinny's next to me.
Chirping?
He's off camera. He's chirping.
Is he chirping?
He's chirping.
He caught me say something earlier. I don't know. We'll move on.
Cowboy
I said something earlier. I don't think anyone noticed. But anyway, let's talk more about this offense because there is more. Packers DBs, no Jair Alexander against these Lions wide receivers. And I'll tell you what. And I said this on Heavyweights. I said this on the morning show. One player I'm expecting to show up, or ideally you'd want to show up tonight, is Josh Reynolds again. Because, man, when he shows up, things change. I mean, Amon-Ra is going to get his 60, 70, 80 yards this football game at least. At least. He's going to get his. Sam Laporta is going to go out there. I mean, he's been playing really well, but he's going to give you something. You need someone else in this wide receiver core to show up. To me, it's been Josh Reynolds, and I expect him to do just that this week against the Packers.
It seems like Josh Reynolds is that reliable blanket there for Jared Goff. I say it all the time. I say it on the streams all the time. Anytime you need a first down and it's like 3rd and long, it's Josh Reynolds that comes up with 100%. That play. It feels like that every single time. You need 15 yards on a 3rd and 15, Josh Reynolds, it's going to him. Every time it seems like he finds a pocket and he opens up somewhere. And Spenny looked at me after I said that. I don't know. Okay.
I know. Isn't he doing this?
I can't do
this guy out of here.
But no, you have to find a way. And Jared Goff said it the other day. And people asked him, why didn't you get the ball to Josh Reynolds? Obviously, he was hurt. He still played in 50 snaps out of the 70 snaps.
They just didn't need him. And that's okay.
And that's what Jared Goff said. He only threw to 3 different receivers. And that's counting Sam Laporta. It just didn't work out that way versus the Falcons. I think today is where you're going to see them spread the ball out more. Khalif, going to get get a couple catches, I believe.
Leaf is going to be huge this game.
You know who I want to see get a catch today, though?
Who?
Marvin Jones.
Okay. And this is why.
I just want to see him get going.
Hold on. And I'm glad you brought that up because I want to.
1 or 2 catches. That's it.
And I want to bring
We've been good without him, though.
And I want to bring this. Hold on. Steve Wild says, and I want to bring this one up. Yet Jeff and Flannel acted like Reynolds was a scrub before the season. No. I was talking about Marvin.
He's a dog.
I wasn't talking about Reynolds. I was concerned what Marvin Jones had left to give.
That's
true. What my concern. You can back me up.
Yeah, no.
He's the second oldest wide receiver in the league.
On Josh Reynolds and Marvin Jones.
That's it.
That's it. Can I make my point?
Because of the loss of DJ Chark,
get a couple catches.
Who Lucas said was, the
only reason I'm saying this
was replaceable and he still is. Josh Reynolds took his place.
If you get Marvin Jones involved in the offense in some way, 1 or 2 catches, and he kind of gets involved, like he gets back instead of just being nowhere to be found. That just adds another piece. Even when Jamo's back, like you just have that reliable sort. Like if someone goes down in a game, you already know you can trust Marvin. Right now, it's like you don't know if you can because they're not going at. He's getting nothing.
But like get 2 catches. I don't need to know if we have to trust him because like the offense has been pretty good with the other 2.
It has, but like
I will say this though,
backup guy.
Your boy Josh Reynolds dealt with a groin injury last week. Obviously,
healthy,
seen with nothing. Hopefully this week a little bit healthier.
I text Broder and asked him. Broder said he's good.
Bro, checked out that groin, huh?
I was getting into it with Brandon Katz today, and he was like, he's not healthy. And I was like, he's healthy. He's fine.
And I love this. I love this one. Steve Wild's responding to me saying, of course, that I was not concerned about Reynolds. He says, well, sure, bro. Marvin has 0 chemistry with golf, and he can't get open on his own. So Laporta had the same amount of time to have chemistry, and he looks great. I'm not doing that. That's not, that whole chemistry thing.
I just don't think it can hurt to get an extra guy involved to where if you need someone older, dude.
Again, you don't need Marvin Jones. Is he somebody that maybe on one play it's 3rd and 7, you need a big catch? Maybe Marvin could do it. Of course,
he's a veteran.
But he's not going to give you. This isn't 2020, 2018 Marvin Jones.
Okay, so week 10, Josh, he had this groin injury last week and he was nowhere to be found. If you had Marvin Jones and you knew you could rely on him and you got him back involved, you have that guy. That's my point.
By the way, shout out to Dante151. He says, here's a fun fact. Aiden Hutchinson has more sacks than the entire Bears defense right now. Wow. And could get more tonight against the Packers. Shout out to Dante for only the $5 for dropping that fact, dude. That is a bar right there. Steve Dara, shout out to you, Steve. Mr. Steve. My girlfriend's dad actually tuned in. He says, Jeff, where's your Lions gear? I don't know. I got crap for that, too.
No, remember? Hey, you're all
black.
I was about to. That's your girlfriend's dad? Shout out.
I did say on the morning show. I did say I'm dressed in all black. It's a funeral.
Yep.
It's a funeral. Thank you, Mike.
Subway workers.
It's a funeral for Jordan Love and the Packers.
Seriously. He looks like a Subway worker.
That's out of pocket.
You did though. We went earlier.
We went to Subway and we're standing in the line and the guy has the same fit as Jeff. And I'm like, no.
Hey, that is out of pocket.
I'm really just like him for real.
Hey, wait. I'm not gonna relax, dude. Jeff, hey, I'm on your side here. I'm not switching sides.
Hey, Jeff.
I'm on your side.
You already switched sides.
I do have enough.
Jeff, I got an FTP Packers shirt from Questionable Tees behind you. I'll hook you up during commercial break.
There we go. Let's go.
Shout out to Easy Man.
Thank you. Let this man get off his shift at Subway.
Jesus. I swear to gosh, guys, and I said this, and Spenny agreed with me, and I think Easy does too. You did one show with Neil, you changed.
I did not.
Switch up.
I did not.
Is
that fair or not fair?
If people know me, I'm Booner. Booner can't change. Booner can't go this way or that. I'm just here. Like, there's no up or down.
It's weird because we saw Booner switch up though. That's the weird part.
Never have. I have a clip of me literally not switching up.
It's like what Lucas says. Like, I don't look at stats. I go with the eyeball test. Well, this is the eyeball test here.
Numbers can't tell me that my eyes are lying.
Hey,
are your eyes lying?
Jeff, Juices Go says, eat fresh, mofo.
I need that soundbite clip for sure.
Yeah.
Eat fresh, mofo.
I don't know what I was supposed to do. It's like you guys are like, just because I'm friends with Jeff and I go on a show with Neil.
Are you friends though?
No, Neil, not you. I'm on Jeff's side. Like every time.
I thought me and Booner had something.
Just because I disagree with, like, I'm not gonna every single argument just be like, no, I'm on your side, Jeff. Do what?
You can give him one.
I will. We have a show in a couple weeks with Neil. I'll do it.
You didn't only switch up on Jeff, though. You switched up on Aiden Hutchinson. You're
did
Michigan
not.
guy.
I motivated that man. I motivated Hutchinson. I said, Hutch, I asked you for 15 sacks this year, and you're at 0. And you know what he did? He said, hey, I got you, Booner. Went and got me 2.
He was a little selfish.
All right, let's head to break here. When we come back, I want to speak more about this defense because, again, we have the man himself in our presence. Defend the Glen. The man of the man of the people. I want to bring up this defense. Any concerns? Maybe some weak points. Maybe some things that you are concerned about. I know Easy, brought up last week, which was kind of taken out of context, the whole Desmond Ridder stuff. He was fearful of Desmond Ridder. But truthfully, who are you fearful of on this Lions offense? And if anything, we'll discuss that when we come back. Again, appreciate you guys for joining the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Don't forget, hit the like button on the stream. It does help the algorithm. We'll be right back after a few commercials.
What?
Oh, yeah. Nothing. G-G-G-G-A. Oh, sorry. I forgot. There we go. Oh, cheers, buddy. I think we need to get you a pick.
Welcome back to the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. I did change my shirt. FTP. It's Benny's shirt, dude. Oh my God.
He's staying at his girlfriend's house.
Huge.
That's his pajamas.
Hey,
Yeah,
Jeff,
this
He's got nothing else on.
This thing is mad. I don't want to finish that sentence.
Fine, dude.
Yeah, it's big on me. But regardless, FTP, you know what the deal is for today. That's the vibes here over at the studio. I do want to get into this defense because, again, we have Easy here, and I think it's a good time to kind of talk about the defense. And I'll just start by asking this. 2 offensive linemen out. Jenkins, Bakhtiari. Bakhtiari's now in IR. We saw this defensive line last week, and not just defensive line. I mean, you saw some linebackers get involved. They have 7 sacks as a team. Pressured Desmond Ridder. I mean, they stopped the run first off and forced Desmond Ridder to drop back, 30-plus times. They sacked him 7. Your confidence level now. Jordan Love, he's only been sacked 3 times this season. I know the pressures are one thing, but that offensive line is held up. But no Bakhtiari, no Jenkins.
I think with the beat-up offensive line, this is kind of on Woodward nights when I spoke about this last night. We talked about this line in the offense. I truly want to see these guys like Aleem McNeil. I want to see Benito Jones. I just want to see these guys put back-to-back performances in big games. Like I would like to see another 4, and I know they've only given up 3 sacks, but with the beat-up offensive line, I just want to see them go back-to-back here, like string together a good series of games here and go out there and get 3 or 4 more sacks. That's what I want to see out of these guys. And what are we talking about, Lucas? Pressure Jordan Love and take him out of the game.
And keep him inside the pocket, too. That's the thing. If you can contain Jordan Love to not escaping the pocket and have the internal pressure from the defensive line, make him make quick, tough decisions where he has to truly use his accuracy, which, by the way, we said it 3 times already, is 55%. If you can make him make tough decisions on 2nd, 3rd down to pinpoint a ball, man, it's game over.
If you take Jordan Love out of this game and you make other guys make plays, like put that pressure on him and make him make his guys, it's over. Like that offense does nothing. They scored 0 points the first 3 quarters versus the Saints because the Saints did just that. And I think this
you're good.
My bad. I get passionate a little bit. Detroit Lions are playing today, Jeff. But no, I just want to see this defensive line go back to back.
Yeah, you're good. And I don't know why. I think you just need to just plug in that thing real quick. I don't know. It sounds a little weird. But regardless, we'll get that handled for you guys. I see this, Rich Diana. Oh, God, a pregame show, too. I'm already stoked, man. Appreciate you, Rich, for joining the show. Big time. Appreciate the support there. Again, for at least this matchup specifically, and I want to go to this comment because they are really spot on. OGFV Gaming. We couldn't get after Seattle with a bunch of second-string offensive linemen. They better play like Sunday and not like Seattle. And there's the other argument. I mean, they didn't really show up against Seattle in the same fashion there. Solid against the run. There's not really much concern there. They've been solid, not just against the run, but again against Aaron Jones. Like you go back through the last, 3 matchups for Aaron Jones. Last year, 12 carries for 48 yards, 4 yards per carry. The year prior, or the same season, but you get what I'm saying. 2022, technically, the same season, though. 9 carries, 25 yards. So the last 2 games for Aaron Jones against the Lions hasn't broken out. I mean, he did that early on in his career. But under this current regime, they've been solid against the run. But I want to go to Easy on this. Your thoughts? Just kind of, I don't want to say the whole Aaron Glenn thing because I thought it was a little too much. Anybody that wanted to fire him, I think we went through this last year, man. Like he has shown at least some changes, at least up front against the run, man. They're top 10 team right now against the run. The rest of the guys look good last week, kind of helping out Aiden there. But your expectations for this defense?
Expectations for the defense, I kind of reiterated this tons of times through last week, but I want you guys to know it remains true against the division rivals, Green Bay Packers. Detroit Lions are great against the run, and that goes back to the 2022 season. There's been 4 running backs, 4 human beings on this entire planet that's run for over 100 yards against an AG defense since the beginning of last year. And by the way, Aaron Jones, I know he's back, I know he's healthy, and any Packers fans in the chat, never rushed against the Detroit Lions for over 100 yards. Never. Not once. I'm sorry, Aaron Glenn's Detroit Lions defense for over 100 yards. Let me correct you on that one. I think it was 62 was his highest. The run's getting shut down.
Yep.
For the second week in a row, and I think this team's going to continue throughout the entire season, the Detroit Lions secondary has to step up. And the reason why I get concerned about that is we've seen them fail us. Go back to the Seattle game. We've seen them fail us in those moments. But I think with Aiden Hutchinson in there, I told you guys a little bit earlier, he's co-owner of the Green Bay Packers alongside Kirby Joseph. Backup tackles. I'm hoping he makes plays today to rush Jordan Love into bad decisions. And the Green Bay Packers, on average, had the largest target per depth, or depth per target, I should say.
Yep.
That's part of that 55% completion percentage you see from Jordan Love. I need Aiden to rush those throws a little bit more, so we have a little bit of our playmakers out there making them, capitalizing on those throws.
And again, with the whole like Jordan Love thing, and I know you brought it up, they're going to test your secondary. They did it last week against the Saints. They got away with some PI calls.
Let them.
And that's the other part. I think an interesting matchup there, at least for the Lions defense, is Jerry Jacobs, because this is a guy who, through his career with the Lions, has been solid. There's been times though this season he has not looked like what he once was. He had a bounce back performance, but still, it's somebody that ideally, with Emmanuel Mosley back, he's a depth piece. He's somebody that shouldn't probably be cornerback 2, but also he probably should be matched up with a guy 6 inches taller than him.
100%. And that's the thing, is where that's going to be a crucial matchup for this game, because against Seattle, I understand Jerry Jacobs played bad, but he was not set up for success either. Manning him up 8 yards off the line of scrimmage against DK Metcalf, he's going to fail. And he's not the most ideal cornerback 2, but the fact is he's played against his Packers team. He's played against his Matt LaFleur offense. He knows what this team likes to do, especially in crunch time. You saw it last year against the Packers. They were in crunch time. Jerry Jacobs was not a liability against the Packers at all last year. So I understand he's had a rough start, but this guy is a veteran who's proven himself, obviously, not only to make the roster, but to become a starter. So it's ideal to have Emmanuel Mosley back, but Jerry Jacobs, I'm not overly confident where I think he's going to shut him down, but I don't think he's going to be the glaring thorn in this Lions defense every game like he was against Seattle. But again, he was set up for failure. I still trust Jerry Jacobs to some level, because he's shown me numerous games. He's not the most talented, but he gets himself in position to make plays on the ball, and that's just plain and simple.
Public Enemy says, Jeff, if the Lions don't win tonight but wins in dominant fashion, Wait, they don't just win tonight but win in dominant fashion, offensively, defensively, what should the narrative be? The Lions, this division.
King of the North!
Yeah, you just took over the North.
Yeah.
King of the North!
If you completely obliterate the Packers, what that means going forward, more respect on the Lions, of course, but more than that, there's no competition in this division. I didn't think there was, Booner, but the Packers, I did have some respect for them.
I picked the Packers to finish second in the North.
I did too.
I thought that would be the team, and they have shown it, that they were the team to kind of compete for the NFC North outside of, I thought the Vikings were done and the Bears were done. So this is, to me, if we really think about it, this to me is the toughest NFC North game you're playing on the road at Lambeau. It's a tougher game than going on the road to the Vikings. It's tougher than the Bears for how bad they are. So to his point in the comment section, I can't remember his name. If they go in there and dominate, it shows you're the, like Easy said, you're the king of the North now. And outside of that,
the tone, Booner.
You set the tone.
You set the fucking tone.
Set the tone.
There you go.
Outside of that, it doesn't set it up just for this year. It sets you up for the next few years that, hey, Packers are done.
Right.
They've been in control of the North the last I don't even know, for our whole lifetime.
Yeah, they went from the team that's hunting to now being the hunting.
And if you win,
Yep.
the Detroit Lions, it sets you up for the next 3 to 5 years to where you're in charge of the NFC North, and you're going to be expected to go do what the Packers have been doing.
It's as simple as this. The
Okay,
Green Bay
break it down.
Packers, for almost a decade, even more, they've been the more experienced team. They've been the more talented team. They've been the more well-coached team. They've been the more well-run team. But that all changes. That all changes in 2023, and you saw a glimpse of it in 2022. They're going into Lambeau again. When Ed Rodgers is not there, Devontae Adams is not there, and they're coming out with the W, baby. You best believe. You best believe. The narrative changes officially, because you could already say as Lions fans, we saw enough last year, but now we can confirm it tonight.
It's a new era.
It is a new
Aaron Rodgers
era.
is gone.
All right, and Travis Clark chiming in here. Hell yeah, I'm glad I got off work early enough to catch the show live and the game. Love the show. I'm out here in Cali, Detroit versus everybody. Out in California representing, man. Travis, you're a real one. Max, also, thank you for the $10. He said, what's up from Texas? Listen all day, every day. WSN has the best team, all shows. We need to dominate tonight, lead the North the rest of the way. Appreciate that, Max. And
Set the tone.
I see no lies. He says ball knowing. Max he is a ball knower. That's fair. And there you go. And look at that. Jordan Schaefer, 31.5% of Jordan Love's passes have been uncatchable, according to PFF.
Great stat.
Hey,
Wow.
Kirby
PFF has a stat for everything.
Kirby Joseph might be out,
Did you
but
say
Tracy
that?
Walker
Spenny
dropped
brought
two
that up
picks
on Heavyweights, too.
last week. He's
Preaching
going to make
facts.
up for him.
And look at that.
Whoa!
The poll. Oh, wow.
Whoa!
Jeff Brewster with the
The
50.
Brewster is back.
Shout out
Back,
to
baby.
Jeff Brewster. Didn't leave us a message, but name's Jeff. That's
Jeff
all I need to be
Brewster,
said.
he came into the Woodward
He's
Nights.
dropping
He's the one
bags.
that dropped like 500 on Woodward Nights. Shout out Jeff.
Yeah,
He said Booner won him 5K.
Yeah. Listen, I don't need to
Which
say
I do
anymore.
with Booner Bets tonight.
I don't need to say anymore. His name's Jeff, so I respect him. I do. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, though.
Jeff Iafrate's a bitch.
Okay. All right, Neil Rule. That's
I can't hear anything
That's not
right now,
true.
so I don't know what.
it's Neil Rule calling me a bitch. Play it again, Mike. Play it again.
Jeff Iafrate's a bitch.
Well, Neil Rule.
Don't worry, babe, you're not.
Yeah, trust me, Jeff, you're good.
Neil Rule. You're not even the best fighter in your own household, Neil Rule. It's your son. All right, so I'm only scared of him. So if we're talking bitch, all right, that's all I'm talking about. I'm coming at you, Neil. I got him in a couple weeks too on a home game. I don't know, home game. I forgot what game it is specifically, but that'll be a lot of fun. Let's move on here because we got a couple minutes before we go to break. Look at that. People chiming in. Patrick says, haha, Jeff gave it back. Hey, I just respond to those who call me out. That's it. Brett Williams, do you guys get the super chats as tips or they give it to the network? I think it just goes, it's for the network, but
it's
it's
for the
continuing to
Can
grow
I
the
make an
network.
official statement?
Eric Burrows says King Jeff is back. I believe Jeff Brewster, I believe he's referring to. Guys dropping money bags, but what do you got, Booner?
Can I make an official statement?
Yep.
I'm on your side, Jeff. Neil Rule versus
Wait,
Jeff.
whoa.
Come on.
This is breaking news.
Breaking news.
You actually have my back.
Switching sides again?
Neil Rule
Yes.
versus Jeff. I have to back Jeff. I love Neil, supporter, but
You have to
I
do this
took-
with Neil in the room, man.
Yeah. You only did that.
Yeah,
You only did
Okay,
that.
I'll do
You
it
said
when he comes
something.
back on.
Because when Neil was here, when Neil was here,
Just all over Neil the whole weekend last
Yeah.
week.
Who I was?
yeah, you were.
I was in the room with him for an hour.
and he had you.
You were clamoring
He-
over Neil. You
he had you switched up like that.
You guys are switching up on me right
Hey,
now.
by the way-
I'm taking notes right now.
Hold on. By the way,
Got my
I want to
notepad
say
over
this.
here.
I want to say this before we go to break, and we'll get into more of this specific game here because we got to get into Booner's bets in a couple minutes, and you guys really want to stick around for that. I'll kind of
Yep.
give my parlays out. Mike might have some for you, but it is Booner bet time, and we'll get to that in a couple minutes. But before that, can we get like the people who are here, the real ones who are here for the Me, Neil, and Booner show? Be honest here.
Me and Lucas weren't a part of that?
Was well, you guys are. I'm talking about the people. You guys
This
are
is
no, no,
ridiculous.
Hey,
I'm just-
Jeffology, episode 1
fair.
right here,
That's
baby.
fair.
No,
we get it,
I'm
Jeff.
trying to be nice
Booner.
to Jeff and get on his side here. Now he's trying to put the people against me.
No.
You see?
No.
Booner, I
Booner.
will say this.
All I'm
You
saying-
Gentry, you
agreed
see
with
what's
you-
happening.
No, I'm not taking sides. I'll let you two argue like you always do. But you agreed with Neil on the show, and then in the text thread, you were agreeing with Jeff.
Thank you.
Did
That's
I
all
not
I'm
send a
saying.
clip of
I'm
me
just saying.
on the show? Literally,
Switch up.
I sent a clip on the show. Literally, I clipped it, and maybe we can play it. And I said, Jeff,
Okay,
I
Neil-
agree with you.
Booner,
So
we
you
don't-
mean you manufactured a clip of the show? You edited it?
Yeah.
No, I
Clipped it.
Stop. We don't need to go
gonna
into
go
it.
nuts.
We don't have time for that shit. All right. What we do have time for, though,
on the same team
is the
here.
people that were there. The people that were there. Just give me a yes or no. Was Booner agreeing with Neil? He was kind of. But then afterwards, he was on my side. But when Neil was in
the
the room,
nicest person here.
was Booner a little,
It wasn't that you're not nice.
Why am I taking
he was kind of a Neil bot there.
I love that. I love everybody.
Let's go to break here. We get back. We'll get to Booner's bets, and of course, if you guys have some of your favorite bets, feel free to chime in here. We'll get everyone's opinion on this. Booner, I know you got some things cooking up during the show, so stop. All right, we're done.
Booner was on both sides.
Right, we got to go to break. Shout out to our friends over at Bullseye Event Group and Long Drink, again, for sponsoring and giving us all the benefits they give us. We'll be down there at the home games down at Eastern Market. It's a ton of fun, man. So if you guys are in the area, come say hi to the people at Woodward Sports. We'll be right back after the break. You're watching the Detroit Lions pregame here on Woodward Sports Network.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
We're back. It's the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network, and we got another $50 here from Jeff Brewster. So appreciate you for that.
Jeff. What a dog.
Yeah.
What a
the people are kind of freaking out here. I want to read this comment too. Denver Blair, Booner's comment never correlated with Jeff and Neil's arguments. I don't know what that means either. But Denver, to be fair, Denver is a real one. He was a part of that pregame show.
Sounds like a fair assessment from Denver.
That is fair.
Yeah.
No, he did not.
Let's talk off camera.
It is time for Booner's bets here. So let's get to it, Booner. Run me kind of through some of your favorite bets. I don't know if you have like the bet you want to drop at the end, or take it away.
Boys.
What do you got for me?
I got to throw the glasses on here for this. Lucas said I have to wear the glasses for the bet section.
Put them on, Booner. There you go.
Booner bets, baby. Let's go.
He's locked in.
I've got a couple bets for you guys today. I promise you guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional. I don't, all of that stuff. Don't listen, but hear me out real quick. The first bet, Jeff, I want around the room to, if you guys feel like these are good bets, I just want to get a feeling here.
Okay, talk to me.
Very first one. Spenny on BDE talked about Aiden Hutchinson over 1.5. Aiden Hutchinson just one sack. Plus 135.
Ooh.
Aiden Hutchinson sacks Jordan Love tonight. That is a lock. He gets the job.
Is that the Booner lock of the night? Okay.
It is not the Booner lock of the night.
One.
I have a Booner lock of the night.
He goes, it's a lock. And I'm like, is it your lock?
Not
no.
It's not a lock.
Switch up.
Switch it up again.
Switch
There's
it
a
up.
difference between a lock and a Booner lock.
Okay.
Know that, boys.
That's fair.
Second one. This is hitting every single Detroit Lions game, fellas. Samuel Laporta. I don't know if his real name's Samuel, but Samuel Laporta. Over 4.5 receptions. That man has gone 3 straight games with over 5 receptions. Hits it again, Jeff. Good?
You
like that?
I have to agree, Booner, because I have a parlay in with that as one of the bets. But I did text you, and I said, listen, he's had 5 catches in every game. There has to be a point where he doesn't.
Or he just keeps dominating.
He could. You're right. Oh. He could. I think I'm already impressed with Sam Laporta, but if he just has 5 through the first 4 games, man, the guy's, that's ridiculous. But to be fair, and Joshua even agrees here, 4 catches is nothing. He's really the second option on this team.
He is, and anytime,
it's not unreasonable.
Any time that Jared Goff feels like he's under pressure, and Sam Laporta, dude, he finds a way to get open all the time. I don't know what they're laughing about.
I know. What's funny, guys?
This is unbelievable.
What the hell's going on?
I don't know. Someone in the chat said Spencer's laughing like a little Korean girl or something like that.
Okay, that's. Okay, yeah, that's.
Kind of does.
All right. Well, that's a big one. All right, Booner. That's your first one. I like it. I do.
Hutch sack, Laporta reception, and make sure too, guys. If you guys are taking these bets, we're gonna be on the stream too, and most of these guys probably will be taking my bets because I don't lose. So we're all gonna be on the stream on the same bets. I have 3 more here. I have 2 Booner locks, but before my Booner locks, I have one more here. It's kind of a 2-in-1. I feel like everyone on the room here is on Jahmyr Gibbs' touchdown.
I'm in it.
Are we all riding that together today?
No.
I'm hopeful for it, but
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Well, let's cut that out.
No, I'm with you. Because
Okay,
I think he
then?
could catch. Listen, the guy's going to either catch a touchdown or he's going to run for
That's
one.
what, it would have to be through the air, I think.
He's
Yes.
the 12th overall pick.
Has to get a touchdown.
Get him in the end zone.
Has to get a touchdown.
Not to mention he's going to have Rudy fucking Ford, Darnell Savage, and Isaiah McDuffie, their backup middle linebacker. And you stick Quay Walker on him?
Yep.
Please.
No.
Please. Barbecue
No.
chicken alert.
No, this-
Barbecue chicken alert.
What Lucas just said, I want to throw out there too. His all-purpose yards, 60.5 or 59.5. You would think he gets that too, right, boys?
Yeah, I would think so.
Even with D-Mont back, Jahmyr Gibbs, it's at 59.5 all-purpose.
59
All-purpose?
Rushing and receiving.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that.
mad.
Yeah,
I like
Just
that.
That seems so low. I already put a bet on it. I don't see.
I don't hate it. I'll say
Even
that.
if D-Mont's in Kansas City, he hit that with D-Mont when he had 80 yards. So those are my just normal plays today, fellas. If you guys want to play that now, the Booner lock, 2 of them of the night that we're all riding. Everyone in the room here, if you guys don't place these bets, I will kill you. Literally. Maybe not.
He'll probably change his mind last minute. Let's be real. Switch it up.
Yeah, I won't kill you, but I will destroy you. First one, though. The Green Bay Packers, team total, under 22.5 points.
Ooh.
I like that.
The Detroit Lions defense steps up. I think that they end up with 20 points. You're going to see it 20 points from the Packers. That's still a lot of points to give up, in my opinion, to this Packers team.
Yeah.
This defense has been buzzing last week. I think they show up to Lambeau. It's going to be a lower scoring game, and they get the job done. 22.5 seems way, way, way too high for this Packers team. I don't think they get.
I agree.
That's a
I
good
like
call.
that.
Thank you. That's one of the
I said
Booner
it before
locks.
the show.
And the last one here. Are you guys ready?
Talk to me.
This is a simple one. I want to make sure here I have the correct number here real quick, fellas. This is a simple one. This is a little juiced. It's at about minus 130. The Detroit Lions money line.
There you go.
Lock it in.
Yeah, lock
Let's
it in.
go.
Lock it in. There you go, baby.
That's the lock of the day.
Lock of the day. Vegas is giving you free money. Minus 130.
I actually like that.
I put almost everything I had in my,
I
my
like 'em all.
betting account on that.
Now, and for the Gibbs thing, because for me, I placed the Gibbs anytime touchdown score before I found out that David was coming back. And I want to read this comment. Michael says, not a dependable bet. Being the 12th overall pick has nothing to do with him scoring. And to be fair, Michael, although it doesn't have to be directly correlated, I do think it matters to some extent. Like, you took this guy 12th overall. I know it's not all about touchdowns, but come on. Hit the pay dirt. It's about to be 4 games.
It's not even that. It's the personnel that the Packers have going against them. Like, they're one cover guy. Their linebackers are Rashawn Gary, an edge rusher, and Quay Walker, whose hips, I said it earlier in the morning, are stiff as a bone. Devondre Campbell, the fact that he's not going to be out there is so pivotal, not for them, only at the fact of the run game, but in the pass game as well. He was their one cover guy in the front 7, and now he's not there. If you don't think Ben Johnson knows that, you're smoking pot. Jahmyr Gibbs, if he's matched up on any of those linebackers, win. If he's matched up on Rudy Ford, win. Match up on Darnell Savage, win. I'm telling you.
Booner,
he's going to be unleashed in the receiving game.
But honestly, I could say that with, honestly, a handful of defenses. I think Jahmyr, you could name a couple other defenses and line Jahmyr up with whoever, and he should win that matchup. He's too explosive, and especially in the receiving game. I'm not just talking rushing touchdown. I'm talking catching a touchdown, running a touchdown, and I think Jahmyr's due for something. Whether it's catching one or running one in. What would piss me off, and this is just kind of foreshadowing, I think it's going to happen, but if Monty or Jahmyr gets you
All the way
up the
down.
field and then
Yeah.
they put Monty in.
That seems like that would happen.
But you know that's what's going to happen.
That's ridiculous.
But you,
Monty anytime touchdown.
D-Mac made a good point earlier today, and he talked about it on the stream last week, was eventually he's going to, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to break one off, like a pass. Like
It's going to be on like a screen or a check down in the flat. I think Jahmyr gets in the
eventually
end
he
zone
will.
has a high possibility, but I don't think it's on the ground. Like this
Yeah.
Packers defense in the secondary, especially if Jerry Alexander is hurt, they don't have a trustable player outside of Rasul Douglas, who's not a world beater by any means, is a solid player.
And you got Laporta now. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, Jahmyr's going to be able to sneak out and catch one. I do believe that.
Do you guys, a quick question here for betting wise as well. I don't know if you guys remember the week 1 stream when with the Kansas City Chiefs, and I gave out first touchdown Amon-Ra St. Brown. I already locked this in. I locked in Amon-Ra St. Brown first touchdown again.
Can't be mad at it.
He's been elite in the red zone. He's a guy that Jared Goff trusts. If they get around the 15, 20-yard line, all training camp, that was the talk of training camp. That happened. They looked at him versus the Kansas City Chiefs game. I truly think that Amon-Ra St. Brown scores the first touchdown tonight.
I don't think. I mean, again, it's your number one receiver.
Plus
I don't think you're off.
I'm pretty
there.
sure it's like plus 800.
And look at this, Burn. Everyone's donating money, man. Appreciate
Shout
you
out
guys.
to
It's getting to the point where I can't read all of them, but I'll try to get to as many. I mean, Yazin says, I don't know if you pronounced your name right. My mistake if I didn't, but he says Lions and Eagles moneyline parlay 1K pays $2,900, or Lions plus 7.5 alternate under 53.5 alternate 1K pays $1,500. Yazin putting some.
I don't.
Let me hold 1K. Yazin got like that.
Burn,
Who's
that
that
like
1K?
that?
And then Burn donates $10. Shout out to you, Burn. He says Gibbs has better numbers than K9 and Todd Gurley did after 3 games their rookie years. Jeff, come on, what are you doing here? He has the same numbers as Saquon Barkley in his rookie season. Relax. Is he referring to the first 3 games?
Yeah, I'm assuming so. And
Yeah.
Gurley was
Did any of those guys score their first
Gurley
3-4
was
games?
also hurt coming into the season. He had
that is true.
late in the season, but it's still the fact of he has a point of like it's 3 game into Jahmyr Gibbs' whole career. Like we can call him down on the people like I did say Bijan Robinson is a better running back, and I do believe that. But that doesn't mean that Jahmyr Gibbs cannot be a hell of a player. And the people that are like, oh, you took him at 12, we're not using him yet. It's 3 games into his career, and he has also like a workhorse back in David Montgomery, who's back tonight. He gave you 81 yards. That was more than Bijan Robinson last week. Like.
It's not. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know where that. No, appreciate you, Burn, for the donation, but I don't know who he was referring to because no one was questioning the Gibbs.
No, and you guys.
I just want him to score, which I think.
Heavyweights and you guys did the comparison of a lot of these like elite players, like rookies, in their first 2 games. And compared to Jahmyr's.
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't think anyone's saying anything bad about it. We would love to see him in the end zone at the end of the day. Like, that's the thing. Like, we would love to see him get used in different ways if Monty's back. That's how I look at it.
Now, I would ask this, though. Ideally, you'd like to see him more in the passing game now that Monty's back. Is that fair? Like, I want to see those receivers because he is a weapon.
Especially, like,
he's a weapon.
David Montgomery's banged up. Like, I think it's perfect opportunity to put Jahmyr Gibbs in the slot, leave David Montgomery in there for pass protection, and start feeding Gibbs through short connections where it's the extension of your run game. Not only does that help Monty with not getting beat up, but it helps Jahmyr Gibbs get into a rhythm with this offense. So I think this is another reason why Jahmyr Gibbs, receiving yards and total yards, over.
Yeah, I do agree with that because we saw last week with Monty out, Jahmyr only had 2 receptions. With Monty in, we see Jahmyr Gibbs a lot more active in the passing game. So I'm definitely down with like total yards, Jahmyr Gibbs, 59.5 it was.
And that's, to me, easy. That's how you validate the pick. If he's a weapon, like he's not like if he's in as much as if he's as dangerous as he is in the passing game as he is running the football, which I believe he is. You could argue that because if they took a wide receiver at 12, no one's saying nothing.
Yeah.
If he was good, you know what I mean. So if he could kind of make a statement there, which. It's only 3 games. I get that. But plenty more season left for Jahmyr. I'm not concerned. I'm not hitting the panic button.
To play the other side of it, to be fair, it was the hype of it, getting him at 12, and then Ben Johnson saying there's different ways. Like we have a ton of different ways we're going to use them, and you just haven't really came out and seen that yet. And I'm on your guys' side. I'm with all you guys here. He's through 3 games, but I think that's what some people look at is, hey, we were told that we were going to use this guy in different ways. We want to see it at some point. I think. So that's a good conversation.
Can you kind of just go through your bets again? Give them a summary just before we go to break here. So let's lay it out for us.
First couple here: Aiden Hutchinson sack plus 135. Laporta over 4.5 receptions. Gibbs touchdown. Gibbs rushing and receiving over 59.5 yards. And then the 2 Booner locks 2-0. They will go 2-0. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take my advice, but these are Booner locks. So Packers team total under 22.5. Separate. These are separate, not a parlay. Packers under team total 22.5, and Detroit Lions money line. It is juiced about minus 130. I got it earlier this week. I think a little lower, like minus 120. Yeah. So, but it's about 130, 134 now. Still take it.
There you go. And we're going to go to break here when we get back. I do want to have the Jordan Love conversation because it's about time. We got Easy joining us. It'll be a fun little conversation, especially how Lucas feels about him. I think it'll be some good back and forth. I'll tell you that. But again, appreciate you guys for joining the show. The Detroit Lions Woodward Sports pregame show brought to you by our friends over at Bullseye Event Group and, of course, our friends over at Long Drink. We'll see you guys after a couple commercials.
What? Yeah. Nothing. G-G-G-G-A. Oh, sorry, I forgot. There we go. Oh, cheers, buddy. I think we need to get you a pick.
Welcome, everybody, back to the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Brought to you by our friends at Bullseye Event Group and, of course, Long Drink. Plenty more to get to. I want to get into the Jordan Love stuff, but first, let's kind of refresh for the people that are just joining us or maybe missed out when we mentioned it earlier. But the injury report for both respective teams. Lucas, throw up whoever you got. Now, I'll kind of break it down for the people here. This is the Detroit Lions. As you can see, Jason Kapinda out. Kirby Joseph, Zonovan Knight, Broderick Martin out. Emmanuel Mosley and Vaitai out. So again, you're missing 6 players. You know, a couple of those guys you don't really see anyway, so it's not concerning. I think the biggest one is clearly Kirby Joseph, Emmanuel Mosley. And not the end of the world. They got 10 days off. Throw us the Packers. Let's see what they got here for the Packers for people that missed it earlier. There you go. Packers inactives. Significant ones I'll name: Jair Alexander, Devondre Campbell, and Elgton Jenkins. Pretty significant, yeah. I'll tell you that. Speaking of, Bakhtiari and Jenkins, and who they're protecting is Jordan Love. The man who sat behind Aaron Rodgers. The man they took, the quarterback out of Nevada. The man they believe in. 7 touchdowns, 1 interception through 3 games so far. They're 2-1. And I'll say this, though. And one thing about young quarterbacks, easy, is people look too much at Jordan Love. I look at the situation he's in, and I look at the coaching. Like
context matters.
Context. They make it easy for Jordan Love. I know he throws a lot of balls downfield. The man's attempting to get playmakers like Jaden Reed and now Watson back. He's gonna try a couple times, maybe get a PI call. But to me, Jordan Love, they've just made it easy for him. But the thing, though, they haven't had as much success with it that they want to get back on the same page there is the run game. Because, again, if you allow this team to run the ball on you and Jordan Love is able to establish play action, it's going to make his job, speaking of that, even easier, ideally. Yeah. But I don't think Jordan Love's bad. I know that's a big thing. I personally think in a couple games now, I like Jordan Love more than Justin Fields.
I agree.
I agree.
Obviously, Justin Fields is probably more like raw, athletic,
there you go.
Talented. You have that with it. But, there's no issue saying that. And say this, too, about Jordan Love. His pass catchers, if you look at half of his targets have been rookie wide receivers, just pass catchers in general. You got Luke Musgrave, rookie, Wilkes, rookie, Jaden Reed, rookie. Outside of that, you have Romeo Doubs, who's a second-year player. On top of that, you're adding Christian Watson to it. He's dealing with young guys as well. This is a young Green Bay Packers offense, and I think it's Matt LaFleur's finally be able to imprint himself schematically to a full extent now because you don't have the stubbornness of an old head like Aaron Rodgers, who kind of can call what he wants because it's Aaron freaking Rodgers. But if you ever at any point believed in Matt LaFleur as a head coach or coordinator, you're seeing it now.
Yeah.
You say what you want about Jordan Love, but Matt LaFleur is also orchestrating a little bit of these things too, and they're also still young and kind of gelling together. This is why you kind of expect or want a Detroit Lions win this time around, although it's on the road, at home, either way. It's kind of young guys, undisciplined, I should say, in a big moment. But Jordan Love in itself, I'm not ready to just throw him away yet. I'm really not ready to do that. He's been sitting down under Matt LaFleur's tutelage for, 3 years now?
Yep.
They kept him over Rodgers for a reason. They didn't scramble to draft one of these rookie quarterbacks. They didn't make any type of those irrational moves. They re-signed him before the season.
And this comment too, Mike Bell, he says the scary thing about Jordan Love is that we truthfully do not know what he is yet.
Facts.
He started 3 games.
He's so early on.
Officially this season. But Lucas, let me hear it. Why are you not fearful of this man at all? No one's fearful of him, but it sounds like you're kind of treading on he stinks.
It's not like I think this man is trash or anything. I don't think this man's a bottom 5 quarterback in the NFL. I think you can range him as a week 3 in the NFL season. You can put him from 15 to 25. I think he falls in between there. And with this Packers offense, that's what they need. But when you play in big games in prime time against a talented team, I do think you need that guy at quarterback position. I do think you need that dog in prime time who knows how to operate within an offense in crunch time. And I'm sorry, just as of right now in week 3, Jordan Love, to me, is not that guy. He has to prove it to me. Because at the same time, he has not played.
I don't like that take. I'm serious. I'm calling you out. I personally, and I've done it in the past, Lucas, I just got to wait and see take. Put your nuts on the table.
Let him know, Jeff.
Is he suck or not? Does he suck or not?
I think he's mid.
That's fair.
I think he's the definition of mid. He can do some athletic things, but what scares you? I want to ask everybody around the room. Easy. What scares you about Jordan Love, skill set wise?
To be honest with you, only thing that I would say scares me is his mobility.
So slight mobility. So something that you could see out of Desmond Ridder, Geno Smith. But does anything scare you about Jordan Love's arm?
No.
Jeff, does anything scare you about Jordan Love's arm? And
I think you're phrasing it wrong. Scared? No one's scared.
Do you get fearful of Jordan Love beating the Lions with his arm? If Jordan Love has to sit in the pocket 30-plus attempts.
I don't know.
But that's the thing, though. The equation,
I don't.
There's more than just Jordan Love to factor into that. You have the Matt LaFleur. I mean, the weapons.
Matt LaFleur.
I'm not scared of the Packers as of now. I think down the road they could be a little bit more intimidating once these guys season themselves to the NFL game. Again, the pass catchers he has are all one rookie guys or 2-year, second-year guys. And Christian Watson or Dobbs. Everyone else is a rookie. Right now, not scared. Maybe down the line a little bit more. It's like a... I don't even know. The combination
That's my whole point is that you go on Packers social media right now, and I'll even take it away from that because let's use that as a variable where they're calling this man the next Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
That's extreme.
Yeah.
My point
is wild.
Is that I don't think this man is Justin Fields. To your point, Justin Fields is a more talented quarterback. With this Packers offense, all you need to do is get the ball to the playmakers. But he's even struggled with that to an extent.
But Lucas,
7-1 touchdown interception ratio.
For Jordan Love, he doesn't scare me at all. But we can all agree, if you watched that game last week, what did he do on that final drive? He still took him down there and scored it. He showed little spurts of what he can do.
Get that.
And you can't take that away. I understand this is his 4th or 5th start in the NFL ever. He's raw. He's backed up Aaron Rodgers. He's with a great coach with Matt LaFleur. But there's been times the first 3 quarters versus the Saints where that defense put him under pressure and he crumbled.
Exactly.
And that's a fact. But to your point, Lucas, you're acting like he can't do anything. Way you're talking.
I said that he's not a trash quarterback.
Those last 2 drives in Green Bay, he went down and he scored. They scored 2 touchdowns and he went down and won the game at the end of the day. So there are parts of it to where it's hey, we can't just sit back and just let Jordan Love just do whatever he wants and let him go out there and make plays. You still have to do what the Saints did the first 3 quarters. They extended him for a year for a reason. They kept him behind Aaron Rodgers for a reason. I'm not up here saying that he's good. We don't know that yet. But he has the skill set to do it.
That's everything I just said, though.
But you're talking about him like you talked about C.J. Stroud 3 months ago.
15 and 25. You can put him anywhere in between that, however you want to rank him. My point is the fact that Jordan Love has proven nothing to scare me yet. Even when watching the games, he's made one elite throw that I've seen against the Falcons. Otherwise than that, it's all come down to what that offense has provided him. And if you stall those weapons around him, which we have seen AG done in the past, I'm really not worried. If you have Jordan Love sitting back there for 35 times out of the game, that's a win. That is a win. At this point in his career, you cannot say. Yeah. So going into the career, now you have games to build on. The Lions are only going to get more talented. They have Brad Holmes as their general manager who just fleeced their GM for Brian Branch. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that Jordan Love is trash, but if you take the Lions of the state where they're in 2023, he's not a threat. I'm sorry. The weapons around him may be a threat. You neutralize them, you game plan for them, and you make Jordan Love beat you. That's a win.
Hold on. Let me say something real quick about this because the whole thing, I think this is where there's a disconnect because no one's saying we're scared of Jordan Love. I don't want that to be the case at all. The Lions are the better team. They have more experienced quarterback like that. Yeah, I get all that. The thing is, though, and I agree with Mike Bell, he's spot on, is the scary part is we don't know. It's 3 games in. For anybody to have a take if he's bad or not is just not right.
Let me ask you this so we can wrap.
The fact that we don't know is what I'm thinking about.
Could you say that Jordan Love is on a high right now, though? Yes. Jordan Love right now is looking extremely good.
I mean, that 53% completion percentage is not great.
But around the league, people
are... his trajectory is there.
Do you think there's a chance for a come-down-to-earth moment for Jordan Love where he can play worse?
Yes. For every quarterback, that's
I think that's where you see it tonight. He's going to be the first time when he's actually tested for 4 quarters. And until that he's tested for 4 quarters, I'm sorry, I'm not going to respect him because he's been in the league for 3 years. They gave him a 2-year contract so they can move off him easily. They can either extend him easily or move off of him. They give that the flexibility. Yeah. So if he's stank it up this season, which he's not, they can go draft a quarterback and move off him because he's on a 1-year deal.
They
Prove
still
it.
try.
Send it somewhere.
You know what's curious too about the whole Jordan Love situation, Easy, and I'll let you speak on this too, is they have a young core of wide receivers. Like, imagine if they kept Devontae Adams. I think we'd be a little more fearful of Jordan Love. I'm telling you. Like, the completion percentage thing, and I'm not trying to defend Jordan, but it's just a fact. It could be interpreted in different ways.
Average depth per target, that's going to happen. It's like the Warrior. The 3 ball is always going to be a lower percentage than like the regular field goal in the NBA.
And I could be a quarterback, put it right on the money, and if you don't catch it, it hurts my completion percentage.
There were a handful of drops
But there's
last
also
week.
been a handful of drop of pick sixes where the guy has 6
But
touchdowns.
you can say that about any quarterback. I don't want to bring that. If it fits your narrative, you can't do that.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Jared Goff's had a ton of those. No one brings that up.
I have one question for Lucas, though. What do you make of the 17-0 fourth quarter comeback, though? There's got to be something said for that.
And that's what I give him credit for.
drives.
That's the exact reason I respect him for that. But on the flip side, you went 3 quarters that didn't score, man. If they have their starting quarterback and they get a field goal, you don't win that game. If you go scoreless for 3 quarters and you put up 17, I'm gonna respect the 17, but I'm also gonna look at that first 3 quarters. We can't act like that first 3 quarters didn't happen. We can't act like you didn't lose to the Atlanta Falcons who the Lions just beat. We can't ignore that either. So that's what I'm saying. I respect him a little bit, but there's still a lot to prove till he scares me.
We got him.
Yeah, well,
it's just I want to bring this up because it relates to what we're talking about. And I think there's this comment: Lucas is being rational, acknowledging the Lions' depth chart versus them, and when you lean into Jordan Love as an X factor, he's saying it makes no sense. I agree.
No, we're not.
Who said Jordan Love's an X? I think that's where the miscommunication is.
To the point of where the Detroit Lions, if they want to win this game, they have to put Jordan Love in a position to beat them. Yes or no?
Yes.
Like it relies on Jordan Love.
Make Jordan Love beat you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's where
the game plan.
The X factor comes in, where Jordan Love's going to have to make crucial decisions. Christian Watson's a great player. Christian Watson can't get the ball if Jordan Love doesn't throw to him. So the X factor comes in. Can Jordan Love be a true QB1? And we're going to find that out tonight. And right now, I don't have confidence in that scaring me. I'm sorry.
But that's the thing. You say you'll find out tonight. No, you won't. You're not going to find out if he's QB1 tonight. There's still plenty of
season
season
left. If he has
left.
QB1, he's on a primetime game and a divisional game. That's
and his
a big
fourth
game.
career NFL game. Yes.
But that's where you can see he's
fully starting.
He's in his 4th career game, but he's been in the league for 3 years.
Actually,
he's been sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for years. He's already played against the Lions and kind of did not look very good.
He did not. No, he did
that's
not.
at the beginning of his career, so I'm not going to act like that actually matters. But it's not like this guy has not played NFL football before. He was on a primetime game against the Eagles last year. Like, this is where Jordan Love have to show, like, has he taken that growth?
Yeah, and again, we agree that's why maybe you don't, and I don't really know because we agree. No one's saying that Jordan Love's going to be elite. I think he'll be mid. I think that's his ceiling, to be honest with you. But again, you can win with mid. That's fine. Like that's what I think.
All the time.
Jordan Love can end up being like a Kirk Cousins who puts up a ton of numbers and is just not in that elite tier. They'll still win some games.
And I want to really well known too, and I'm sure everyone in the room agrees with me, is I want the Detroit Lions defense to go out there and do what the Saints defense did that first 3 quarters. Yeah. I want Lucas to be completely right on this. If we're being dead serious.
Yeah, of course.
I want him to be right that he's mid at best.
No, I think he's mid. I'm not saying
100%.
like that's where the point kind of gets like lost. Like I'm saying he's mid. I'm just saying what's fearful is we don't know yet.
I acknowledge that you think he's mid. My whole point is just like if you have a mid quarterback, a lot of the times mid quarterbacks in big games, that's where they expose themselves for being mid because they can play great at 1 o'clock against the Bears or 4:25 against the Bears in week 1. But if you can't play big on a divisional game on Thursday night, that's where you really see the separation in talent and actually execution, because if you can't execute on your talent in big times, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, that's what you're getting paid for. If you're QB1, you're paid to win the big game, to carry your team when things are tough, which he did at 1 o'clock last week against the Saints. Mm-hmm. But you have to see it on Thursday night.
That was his biggest test.
And Broad Sparty says he's mid, but we don't know yet. No, I think he'll be mid. That's my projection, but truly, I don't know. I can't tell you Jordan Love's career trajectory. He could be great. Yeah. I think he'll be mid, but the scary part is you don't know. With any of these guys, these young quarterbacks, there is that part.
Yeah, I think Lucas had on the point though is like you get a Kirk Cousins where like Kirk Cousins has like these ungodly numbers like come end of the year, top 10, and it's just like every stat, and then also in fantasy and shit like that too. But like on the big stage and playoff moments or like a lot of primetime situations, we goof, we make fun of Kirk Cousins. And it's very possible that Jordan Love is one of those players, but like Jeff said, we just don't know yet.
Yeah,
and tonight's the biggest test, and we probably find out. We get a little closer to finding out tonight in prime
That's
time.
fair.
You know what happens tonight? It's a lock. Throws an interception.
Yeah, like
he throws a pick tonight.
And honestly, to be fair, I do think that's the case.
Sportsbooks, they show it. He was like minus 140 at one point, so they know.
Brian Branch, baby.
Brian, you can bet on guys getting interceptions. I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Branch gets one.
And this is killing me too. It's funny. Like the keys to wisdom. Jeff's take is the worst. Love has no credit yet. All right, let's just go to break, man. Like the point just.
We've been on Jordan Love for a while.
I know.
We all understand what each
Did
other
I
are
say
saying.
once he has credibility?
No, but you're saying
what?
Jeff is saying the fact that you don't know what Jordan Love is has to put some fear in you as a Lions fan, because what if he turns out to be better than
Thank you,
think? That's
Lucas.
all he's saying.
Thank
And
you.
My point
Thank
is
you.
on the
Game
other
4.
side is I have just not seen enough to even have that thought in my mind, because in the NFL, in my opinion, it's to show it leaks, show
There
you
you
have
go.
talent, show you can win. So that's just where the difference of opinions is.
And there you go. Thank you, Lucas. And again, it is what it is.
Well spoken.
And hopefully for
Well-spoken
Lions fans' sake, he stinks. That's a common theme amongst all Lions fans. You want this man to stink. So we'll see. And I do think that whole Jordan Love for 1 interception, I think it's real.
I think he does.
I think he gets a pick tonight. 7-1
he
TD.
loves to just loft it up there.
7-1 TD interception ratio. That is going to
Change
even
tonight.
out a little bit.
Yes.
It just
Tracy
is.
Walker interception tonight.
It just is.
I like that, Boone.
Let's go to break, and then when we get back, we'll get our predictions here and then close out the show. Again, thank you guys for tuning in to the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network, arguing like women in the studio. But that's what you love about us, man. Seriously.
Make sure you guys pick your sides, too. You don't
No,
want to get in trouble around here.
It is what it is. When we come back from break, like I said, we'll get into game predictions, but we'll see you guys right after some commercials.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
We're back. It's the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. I don't know what the hell just happened. And this is what I hate, talking about Jordan Love, because it is a touchy subject.
This is a conversation that me and Lucas had when we were doing shows in Studio B. You probably go back and look at the old YouTubes. Me and Lucas were screaming. I think there was a point where after the show we just walked out and we didn't talk to each other until the next day. We were really mad because I was trying to say look out for Jordan Love a little bit. We don't know what he could be. There's a chance that he could be something.
And look at this one. It's Sexy Stud Muffin, $20. Appreciate that. He says Laporta and Gibbs go off easy. 160 yards combined. That seems pretty fair.
Laporta and Gibbs?
Yeah.
160?
Don't hate that.
Yeah, if you talk about from scrimmage for Gibbs, that's doable. There you go. The keys to wisdom. If Jeff told me I was a mid-starting NFL quarterback, that would be giving me huge cred, yet saying Love is mid and not giving him undue cred. Yeah, the keys, I'm just going to end that there. I think you go back and just listen.
4 games.
Again, it's the unknown
games.
is what I'm fearful of. And my personal trajectory for Jordan Love, I think he'll be just mid. That's what I think. But again, the part is the keys to wisdom is we don't know. That's my whole point. Tried explaining that. But regardless, let's get to some game predictions. I want to hear from you guys. And feel free, if you're in the chat, drop them down below. What do you think happens tonight? Give me your final score predictions. Lions, Packers, who wins? Booner, I'll start with you. Talk to me.
I think, and you guys already heard my bets there. Obviously, I feel like the Detroit or the Green Bay Packers go under 22.5. I still feel like, Jeff, this offense just sticks rolling. They've so far in this 12-game stretch of being 9-3, they've scored 20 points in every single one of those games. Every single one. They've scored 20 or more, and then when you do that, you go 9-3, you win games. I have the Detroit Lions winning the game 31-20 tonight. I think it's a 2-possession game, very comfortable. I don't think it's a game where we're going to be sitting there super stressed out, even though Lucas would probably still be screaming on the stream and stressed out. But I still feel like it's going to be you're going to be comfortable a little bit. They're going to get to Jordan Love. Jordan Love's going to throw a pick, maybe even 2 interceptions. But the Detroit Lions win by 11 points, get out of Lambeau, take the lead of the NFC North, and listen, they're setting the tone tonight, boys. Set the tone. Shout out Cam Sutton.
And I'll tell you what, too. And Booner, we were kind of in lockstep at how the game actually plays out. I'm with you. My score I'm going to give here, and I had it written down from this morning, and I think it'll be a close game. I do. Divisional games, think it'll be low scoring. If I had to guess, what's the over/under? Do you know off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head. I mean, I have the sports book pulled
Whatever
up
it is, I'd lean the
always.
under, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are starting to
Both?
44.5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's close.
I've got 31-20, so I have 50, so I have the over.
Yeah, you have the over. I might. That's a good one.
Go ahead.
I'll go with
31-20.
I'll go with 24-16. I've been saying that all day. I think it'll be close.
That's an odd score. 16.
Yeah, just random. Yeah.
Yeah.
Touchdown, 3 field goals.
Yeah.
What was it?
Touchdown, 3 field goals.
Yeah,
16 points.
Yeah, 16 for Jordan Love. I do. I think the Packers are going to struggle around the football. You're going to force Jordan Love to beat you, and he won't. I'll give you the ending there. That was free of charge. Jordan Love will not beat you, and he will lose. The Detroit Lions will be able to run the ball effectively. They're going to get anything they want downfield with Jair out. And I think this offense will be humming, but there'll be times where, at least we've seen this year in the red zone, that they just won't be able to convert. Maybe they settle for a field goal. I don't think they score 30. I wouldn't be shocked with some of the guys they have out, but I'm going to lean. It's divisional. I think it'll be lower scoring. But give me the Lions to win 24-16 and Jordan Love to throw a pick. Can
I get you to lock in and a commitment that you're going to bet the Booner lock of the day under 22.5? Let me get a commitment, Jeff.
Booner, you know I locked it.
Do you trust me or do you not trust me?
I trust you, Booner.
Okay.
You know what I do want to lock in?
Commitment?
I'm going to be honest with you.
What?
I'm leaning Jordan Love over on the rushing.
18.5.
That's easy money.
I thought it was 18.
All right, so let's do this. Let's parlay them together.
I'm down. You got my
lock, shake?
Yep, there you go.
Okay.
Jordan Love
Chat,
over
you guys
18?
got that?
There you go.
We'll put it on.
There you go. All right, Lucas, what do you got?
Love hanging
Talk
out
to
with
us.
I said it on the morning show earlier. I got Lions 27, Packers 17. I think the Lions and Ben Johnson are going to exploit the mismatches on the offensive side. The Packers are talented on the defensive side of the ball, but they have a lot of holes. I think they're very similar to the Chargers defense, where they got stars in some position, but then they got a hole in another. So I think Ben Johnson can exploit that. I think the Lions are going to be able to shut down the Packers' run game. I think the Lions defense and overall is going to have a bend but don't break. I think it's going to be hard for the Packers to score in the red zone. And Lions offense has been humming. I don't see that stopping anytime soon, especially with Demont Taylor Decker back. I think this is a 10-point win by the Lions. I'd like to see it go up, but just because it's the divisional game, I think it's a 10-point game.
Easy. We'll get to you. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a true old-fashioned black and blue division game. I expect probably be a little bit more passing than traditional ways, but a low-scoring game nonetheless. Similar to Jeff. I know we call Jeff Hollywood around here. He's got the script. He had it right in the Detroit Lions, 24. Green Bay Packers, 20. It's going to be a nail-biter.
There you go.
I think we'll see a lot of big plays out of Jordan Love, but within that, he'll make a couple mistakes, and I might tap in with Booner's lock on that interception. Detroit Lions, 24-20. Let's go. FTP, baby.
Fuck
that,
baby. Let's get it in the chat. Drop the FTPs in the chat, man. Let's see them going.
King of the North!
BMG.
I got the Lions 28-17, and my boy, me and Booner talked about it earlier. Monty.
I like it.
All right. Monty getting in the end zone, and I love that Jahmyr Gibbs over 19.5 receiving yards. I've been preaching it all day. It's going to happen. So
right.
Lions 28-17, let's get it.
All right, there you have it.
I love it.
A lot of FTPs coming through right now.
We love it. I hate
again.
the Packers. They're the most, corny fans in the fucking league.
Imagine
waking up on a Sunday, or in this case, a Thursday morning. Put your jersey on, and you pick up a block of cheese as your mascot.
Yeah,
and
that's
put it on your
ridiculous.
fucking head. You go stand out there in Wisconsin. You live in Wisconsin. Bad life choice as it is. You go into Wisconsin, put cheese on your head. You fucking goofball. At least Ohio has Cedar Point. What does Wisconsin have? Not a goddamn thing.
I'm not gonna lie though, boys. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm a little chunky. I love cheese.
It's okay, but to have cheese as your mascot,
I do love cheese.
Bro.
The Packers, they remind me of
Okay.
just like that suburban, white couple family that just live no problems in their life. They just go in there.
They remind you of it, buddy. That is them.
They drive their Honda
That is
Odyssey.
Wisconsin.
They pick up their kids from
Where are we
soccer
going with
practice.
this?
They clock into their 9 to 5. Those are Packers fans. You just want to slap them. You just look at them and dead in their eyes. You just want to slap them. That's Packers fans.
Lucas just named everyone from Ohio too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like a
Instead
lot.
of the Honda Odysseys, they're driving the rusted 2002 Ford F-150s,
Yeah, Ohio's different.
trying to scrap.
Oh man.
Now it's got out the slum.
No,
I still love cheese though, boys.
You know what though? And speaking of Packers fans, this is where we can find common ground, Lucas, about Jordan Love. Is that video you showed me, and they made that tribute? It was the edit from it was Aaron,
It
and
was
then it's new
Favre.
era, and it was Jordan
Disgusting.
Love. That is
From Bart
awful.
Starr to Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. Two guys played 3 fucking games.
I'm saying,
That's bad.
I'm not
Jesus.
saying that Jordan Love is ass, But there are people saying that this man is going to carry on the Packers' legacy for 2 decades.
Disgusting.
2 decades.
Disgusting.
This is the guy. Relax.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Like,
That's
again,
wild.
we could talk about, like, the discussion of what could Jordan Love be. Are we sold yet? But, like, dude, if you're claiming this man as your franchise quarterback through 3 games and you think he's the next Aaron Rodgers, you're over at Dispo, or you're indulging in too many long drinks, which is a
Shout
big
out long drink.
shout out them, by the way.
Got long drinks in the fridge right now.
Yeah, they're indulging in a lot of those long drinks.
Me and JC drinking them. You switched up.
Wait, do we actually have long drinks here?
Yeah.
I would love one.
Okay, yeah, we're getting.
Can I get one?
Kenny McQuaid says Hutch will have 3 sacks. Lions win by 9. Love Woodward Sports. Keep up the great work. Thank
Love
you,
it.
Kenny,
Thank
man.
you.
Appreciate
Shout out,
that.
Kenny.
That's big time.
Shout out, Kenny.
Hutch will have 3 sacks.
No David Bakhtiari, no Eldon
You
Jenkins to
expect
double
it.
team him with.
And I said, in Booner, this is your chance to rectify last week.
Yeah, rectify that thing.
What was last week?
I don't even know if that's. Did I use that correctly?
I
just
don't
kinda
think
pulled
so.
out.
Rectify? No, that's a
That's
good
right.
word.
Yeah,
Isn't that
that
right
was
part?
proper. You're good. You're good, Jeff.
Just kidding. No, yeah,
Have
you did.
confidence.
Let me get the comp. No, I got confidence, baby. You know me.
All right.
You know me. I got.
Well,
Well, I wasn't sure though. Again,
where were you going with
I
this?
did study journalism, but I don't know if that was. Okay, let me ask you.
Yeah, where are we going? Come on.
Let me ask you, okay? And I'm gonna try this again with you. We'll see where
switch
this
up.
goes. And you're the witness, Easy. Hutchinson, yes, I expect a big game out of
Yeah.
him. But you know what else I expect? The rest of those guys on that
yes.
defensive line to show up this week. Would you disagree or
I
agree with that statement?
Jeff, I agree with you full-heartedly.
Let's go!
Thank you.
Yeah, Neil. Hey.
John Kaminsky, give me a sack.
There
Real
you go.
quick, give me a sack.
Yeah, there you
Sorry,
go.
I hit the table.
Yeah.
Hope I didn't
There
mess
you go.
anything up.
You're all good, bro.
He needs help. And
Benito
again,
Jones.
Not that, John Kaminsky needs to carry him.
Ollie McNeil.
Mom! Not that.
Jack Campbell.
No, hold on. Not that John Kaminsky needs to carry Aiden Hutchinson to Jordan Love, but hey, if Kaminsky's getting loose,
Yeah,
if
no,
Aleem
for
and those
sure.
boys are getting loose, it's gonna help him.
I'm with you.
Again,
I'm on your side with this.
okay,
I
all
was
right.
wrong.
There you go.
Hand up. Sorry.
Aaron Stoner says, fellas, enough talk already, and go slam some Fireball and some brews, and get ready for this slang we're about to put down in the cheese.
Long drink.
LFG Lions,
Heavy going
baby.
down the drain now.
Long drink. Drinking long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Turn it.
Fireball.
Hey, Coach Walk did say it's okay to indulge in cheese when you're in Wisconsin, Booner. That's fair. If you're in Wisconsin,
They got nothing else to do. What the fuck else are you gonna do in
say.
Wisconsin?
Cheese is awesome.
Well,
Eat something.
you could go watch Damian Lillard play for the Bucks. That's an option.
Yeah, that's facts.
Nobody says plus 400 for Hutch to get 2 sacks. Put 5 on that.
Nobody,
Put
baby.
five.
I did put a little bit of money on it because 2 weeks ago, Spenny brought it up, and it was the Detroit Lions to get 5 sacks. It didn't hit, but then last week we were doing the stream, and they got like to 6 or 7, and D-Mac hit me and was like, "Did you guys do it again?" And I was like, "Oh no!" So then this week I did it again. plus 1,800.
Stacy Payton
Plus
says
1,800.
Branch dislocates Love's collarbone out for the season.
All right, wrap it up.
Jesus.
That's what we love to hear.
No
pun intended.
okay.
Brian Branch,
That's
take
a
that man
little-
out the game.
That's a little aggressive. That's
Take
a little
him out the
aggressive.
game.
No, come on.
Wait, whoa! We're not telling anyone to get hurt or anything.
Make
no.
him draft
That's a
J.J.
little
McCarthy in
aggressive.
the
Don't do
second
that.
round.
That's a
One
little
of my
aggressive.
buddies almost got canceled this week for that.
Okay.
bad.
Yeah.
Mark Scott?
Who?
No, he's
Mark
talking
Scott.
about
Yeah,
he's
Mark
living
Scott.
Wayne Chi.
And again,
Whoa,
for
come on, that's my
everybody,
friend.
okay,
I
all
know
right, fellas,
Steven.
we got to get out of here. For
Oh,
everybody
Stephen Che.
tuning
That's my
in
friend.
to the
I
Detroit
suppose.
Lions
Respect.
pregame. All right, shut the hell up. Let me finish the damn show. Yeah. For the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys for joining us. Seriously, before you leave, hit the like button on the stream. We're almost at 300 likes. So if we could hit that number, it would be big time. But until next week, we're off this Sunday. You're on prime time tonight. We'll be here, so stick around. We got the watch party in a short while here. The entire crew will be in the studio. It'll be a lot of fun, so stick with us. We'll be live very, very shortly. But until next time, I'll see you guys in the Morning Woodward Show, 8 to 10 a.m. tomorrow. We'll break down the game as well as every other show here on Woodward Sports. But until then, Jeff Iafrate, Booner, Lukas Klotz, Easy, BMG from Big D Energy. We got Spencer Raxter as well chilling with us in the studio. We'll see you guys. Appreciate it.
Go
Sam
Lions,
Laporta,
baby.
Hall of Fame!
Flip it up.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.